So we stayed there perhaps maybe about a month the most. But right after that, my father wanted us to live better than what we were doing in New York City.
Stiva mezza 3 o 4 chantose e parlavo francese così.
So the first thing he did, he tried to find a home, and he did. And he bought a home. It was a 2-family home, and there was a place for a store on the main floor. Now he was a good jeweler, and that is what he wanted to be. So he purchased the home, and we moved in this new home. And he opened up a jewelry store, and he really prospered.
Distrattamente pensa a me. Regine, quando stiva conmigo, non mangiava capane e ceras. Noi campavamo e vase che vase, tu cantavi e chi agniva per me. Io caratilla cantava contigo, Reginella va bene stu re, t'ha già voluta bene a te, tu mi hai voluta bene a me, ma non c'amammo più.
He used to sell jewelry in the people's homes on installment plans. Say they give him, say, 50 cents a week. He was a strict man, very strict. We children, when my mother would have dinner ready, we couldn't eat because our father wasn't there, and we wanted to eat. We were hungry. But no, Daddy wasn't there, and we had to wait for him. So when he would come, he'd be so happy to see his family, and the first thing he would do is put out his hand and say, "Kiss my hand, because your father works hard." And this was his reward, that he would make the children kiss his hand, and he would be proud. And when he'd come home at night, he was so thrilled. He had his pockets full of bills because he was doing well, that he used to throw the bills up in the air. And we children had to go and pick them up. We would scrounge around trying to find the bills, and then we'd give it to him. And I could just see him laughing now, the thrill that he got by seeing his children picking up these bills. So we did very well. We were really in good shape because we had just gotten to America, and we had plenty. In fact, he used to go to the markets. Because we were a large family, he used to buy cases of cantaloupes and oranges and fruit and peaches, all the fruit, bananas, and he would buy cases of them because he knew that it was a big family, and he'd buy cases, and we really had plenty. He was proud of what he was doing. Now, we lived in a community where there were a lot of, mostly all Italians, and we knew each other. My father, he was a man that commanded respect. People respected him. When he walked the streets, they would tip their hat and say, "Egregio Signore." He was so liked by the people. The girls, the children, we were the queens over there. He always dressed with a suit, and he loved flowers. He was a flower lover. Our backyard was full of flowers. Every morning he'd go pick up a flower and put it in his lapel. I used to help my father in the jewelry store. I was his right hand. The people used to come that wanted to sell jewelry to my father. Because he couldn't speak English, so I was his interpreter. And I would say, yes, Dad, let's get these earrings, or let's buy this. This is nice. I think this will go well, it will sell. I was his right hand. I was always at his side. He really loved me because I loved him, and we were inseparable. He was so thrilled what I did for him that all he said was, Sue, he said, I want you to marry a doctor because you are a good girl. And he says, if you marry a doctor, I am going to double the dowry I gave to your two sisters, which were older than me. They were married, and they got $2,000 dowry. He was willing to give me $4,000 if I would marry a doctor. My mother was a fastidious person. Perfectionist. At those days, they used to have their hair fixed very fancy. And naturally, you had to have a hairdresser to do it. Well, every morning the hairdresser would come and do her hair because her hair was fancy. And she had to have that done. Then, being we were so many children, she had a seamstress to sew all our clothes. We were dressed beautifully. She was very fastidious. Everything had to be perfect. In fact, we were the first people that had a washing machine. They used to come in and marvel at the washing machine, but people never saw a washing machine. We were the first ones to have the heat in the home, the hot water heat. And we were the first to have everything. But we didn't feel better than the others, no. We liked and we enjoyed what we were getting. So that was about my mother. And my mother used to go to Coney Island. He used to give her a vacation, 2 weeks, because she had, it was a big family. And she'd go to Coney Island, and she'd love to go in the water, but she didn't know how to swim. She used to hold on to the ropes. She used to love the water. She used to go twice a day. And I, Susie, would take care of the family. I had to do the cleaning. I had to do the cooking for the whole family, for the brothers, the sisters. No, the brothers, yes, because I had younger sisters. I had to do the washing. I had to take care of the store. And my father was proud of me. He was very proud of me. And in fact, one day my mother asked him, how is Susie doing with all that work? Oh, don't worry about that. She's doing fine. She does all the work. She cleans and that. So that was my mother and my father. Why I loved them so much, and I love my sisters, and I love my brothers very, very. I used to bake for my brothers when they used to come out of the study room. I used to always make a cake for them, and they would say, I'd ring the bell and say, come on and eat. And I'd get a kick out of seeing them come out like a file, like one after the other, to come and eat what I had prepared for them. It gave me such a pleasure to do that for them. And then they go back to study. And that was it, because we loved each other. We were a family that loved each other. Brothers and sisters, we stuck together, and we did everything to help each other.